This is a course from a trial I just got back to from in Canada. It was their first ice event or international challenge event that UKI has newly brought into North America. The idea of it is that they are bringing in more international European style of courses with two levels, the rookie and the international version. I participated in the rookie version because me and Rush are still in novice. But that is okay because the courses are definitely very difficult still, but they were a lot of fun and really tested your skills to see where you were at. So it was a very fulfilling, successful in my eyes, and very well worth the time to go. I really had a great weekend. There's a lot of fun people out in Canada. So if anyone ever wants to go with to one of their trials, I'll be more than happy to tell you how to sign up and where to stay or anything like that. So we're gonna go through the course and then I'm gonna go ahead and share our video. So we'll talk about where the course goes, handling, and as I do go through it, think about how you would be able to handle it with the skills that you have right now. Are there any things that you are lacking? I will tell you that the one skill that was extremely helpful the entire weekend was having a threadle wrap skill. It really was helpful in a lot of situations, and it really was only the one option that made sense in a lot of the cases. So this is the jumping. The judge that we had for this event was Daniel Walz. He, I believe, is from Germany, but he's an FCI judge from over in Europe. I'm not sure exactly where he's from the top of my head, but I think it's Germany. So it's an 18 obstacle course. You can see that most things are taken only once. All the jumps are taken once. That is a rule for FCI that everything is taken once, or it's not taken once. It can be taken twice, but it has to be like way later in the course. You can't like go to a tunnel and then back to the same jump. They like to make sure that if the bar is dropped or something is knocked over, that they have time for the ring crew to go reset the jump so that it's jumpable and that they're not jumping through just the stanchions, they're jumping the bar. And also that means that you can get a fault on the bar again if they drop the same bar because it's been put back up. So a lot of nice things they'd like to do. The distances are a little longer. It requires a little bit of running. I was definitely out of breath and very sweaty. I will say that I'm glad that I am doing CrossFit still because I was able to recover pretty quickly. But some people are saying that the lactic acid in their legs definitely got to them. So it's definitely a marathon. It's a sport itself. So, but you don't always need to be running with your dog. You can work on distance skills to get through these. So the opening sequence here was a wrap to start, 2, 3. Me and Rush, I did dog on left, so he was on my left. I just told him to mark forward. I was about right here to send him forward so he would slice that jump, making the tunnel very obvious. I didn't tell him to check, I just said jump, and that just means jump long. Nothing, no criteria, just jump long. And I just had a little bit of lateral motion to send to the tunnel. After 2 to 3, 11 was sort of an off-course jump. A couple dogs did take that because they took the tunnel a little long, and that's definitely right in their face because they don't see 3. So I made sure to call his name a couple times out of the tunnel when he went into the tunnel so that he turned and took the correct jump. And I just told him to jump and take the tunnel. And I still have dog on left here, so no side change yet. Then after the tunnel, we go to the weaves. So what I did here is I rear crossed the weaves, and you can see in the video that he did not find the correct entry section, which was my fault because I was pushing him. I didn't slow down. I didn't give him any decel cues. So I had to put it back in. So we got a refusal there. You can have 3 refusals before you eat. So we're still good. You could also beat your dog if they commit to the tunnel without you having to babysit it. I don't know why I felt like I needed to rear cross the weaves. That's how I walked it. I felt like it was the best situation. I had more than enough time to get between the tunnel and the weave poles to do a blind cross. So that's what I would have done if I would have done this again. I would have changed that and just trusted that he would take the tunnel and just take off. And then I would have looked back to Adam, slowed down a little bit to tell him to weave, and then I would have kept going. From 5 to 6, you have a layering element if you wanted to. There is room for you to fit in between this, and I did decide to go on the inside of 14. A lot of people did with success, layered that 14 jump, and the dog saw the tunnel, didn't even think about the jump. After that, you go to 7, which is again a skill that was a main theme for the weekend, which the best option was to do a throttle rep because you'll see in the video that I was very behind to send him to 7. So I just dropped my right hand, I put it forward, I connected my right and my left hand straight to make sure that he knew that he was turning, and then I carried out the swing command for my throttle wrap on my right arm, and then I was able to leave. No one that I saw did a blind cross between 6 and 7 to do backside wrap. There just wasn't a lot of time. It's sort of a speed element here that really makes it a lot tougher than it looks. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 was like the meat of the course. So you took 18 front side, then you have a throttle in on 9 to a backside on 10 to another backside on 11, which is a backside wrap, back into the tunnel, then a backside or a throttle in on 13 and then 14, and then you have a layer with 15. So again, I throttle wrapped 7 on my right, and what I did is I was able to send him with a little bit of distance. So I was about right here, and I was able to just hold him on my right side. So my cross was already completed at the throttle wrap, and I just kept looking over my right shoulder with my arm out, signaling this jump so that my throttle in for number 9 was already done and executed and cued after he has taken 7 and on approach to 8. After that, I just sent him dog on right to my Lala command, which is a backside slice. And I did go ahead and blind number 10. So I could do a backside wrap on 11 with my zoom. You could, a lot of people did just SERP this, which means you didn't do a blind cross after it. You just kept the dog on your right arm, and they did another throttle wrap on 11. I knew that I could definitely get that backside blind there because I practice it all the time, and our backside wraps are super efficient. So I wanted to make sure that we got to do that, and we did. And there's really not many other options that work well. The handler path for this section is pretty straightforward. From this red dot here to where I was here, it is literally a straight line between all of those jumps. And you'll see that I literally was just in a straight line the entire time, using my words, using my body to tell Rush where to go with the jumps. A couple people did go ahead and do their throttle wrap the blind cross here and signaled 8. And then they stayed on this side of 9 and SERP blinded it. So they just SERPed. So they did a blind cross between 9 and 10 to then send them to the backside and then throttle wrapped 11. So a couple options there, but there was definitely a strong option, which I felt that I did what's best for me in Rush. All right, from there, you'll see that I took off as soon as he was committed to the backside, and then he was going to the tunnel. On approach to the tunnel, you can see that I did start my blind cross that told him that he was turning, and he was a good boy, and he did turn in. So I did tell him to in because that's a throttle. And then you have the last sort of layering part here. You could have chose to layer the weaves, but I did not. I just didn't want to risk being greedy in my handling when I know I did not need to be greedy, and I could have gotten the same result by pushing in. And then after 16, you have a slice jump on 17 and then ending on 18. So you'll see on the video, so I had one refusal at the weaves. So that gave me one more wiggle room refusal. But if I got 3 of them, I would have eat. So see that on this part here was really good. I was staying with him. I told him to go back on my Lala command, and he started to head towards it. But I timed my left cue wrong because left is very literal. And this makes me think that I actually have to go ahead and make a training effort to teach a rear cross cue. That means you're taking the bar and I'm crossing behind you. For the longest time, I thought I could just say jump right, jump left, and it would work, but it's causing a little bit of confusion, and we always have issues with it. So when I have issues with something like that and it's happening a lot, I really need to figure out a game plan on how to make it better. And I think the best thing for me to do is to teach a rear cross command, which means you're going in front of me, you're turning away from me, and then we meet back up on the opposite side. So there's a side change there. So I see a little bit fell apart right here, but we were able to recover and we finished the course. But again, we got two refusals on 17 and then one refusal on the weaves, which means we had three R's here, and three R's make for elimination in UKI, which was a huge bummer. However, I was so happy with how this went, even though it went bad at the end, that it went so well. And this course was just beautiful. The lines were so nice. It made it really easy to find the lines and cue the lines and handle the lines. The dogs all did great on this course. Didn't have any bars. Just really super happy with how this went.